Trump warns of war.
Well, nobody's safe. I mean, who's safe? The guy's got nuclear weapons.
But the president also says he'd be honored to meet with dictator Kim Jong-un as the North accuses the U.S. of pushing them to the brink of war. And here at home, the new battle brewing over health care as Republicans close in on a vote.
Breaking overnight. May Day rallies turning violent as thousands of demonstrators hit the streets here in the U.S. and around the world. Riots breaking out, protesters throwing smoke bombs at police, injuring officers. Terrifying close call. A second grader is lucky to be alive after falling out of a moving school bus, dangling from the emergency door by his backpack. What his mother is saying now about the heart-stopping moment.
And health scare. Overnight, an emotional Jimmy Kimmel revealing his newborn's secret battle.
It's a terrifying thing.
His son, born with a heart defect, undergoing open heart surgery just days after birth.
The operation was a success. It was the longest 3 hours of my life.
The sign something was wrong, and the hero nurse who caught them just in time.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. And boy, to see Jimmy Kimmel open up like that, so emotional. But thankfully, his little boy is doing well.
He's doing well. And take a look at these photos. That's Kimmel's son, Billy. And they say Billy is doing great now. And Jimmy had a very powerful message for other families who are in the same boat. And we're going to tell you what that was later on in the show.
Yeah, we were thinking of Jimmy, Molly, and the whole family this morning. Got a lot of important stories to get to as well. Republicans pushing again to repeal Obamacare. Whether pre-existing conditions are covered, the big sticking point right now, the White House working to round up the votes this week. And the president's scheduled to speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin this afternoon. It will be their third phone conversation since Trump took office. As the situation with North Korea is growing more tense, the U.S. missile defense system is now up and running in South Korea.
And this comes as the North Korean leader ramps up the war of words, issues a new threat. So let's go to our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, for more on that. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. This morning, both sides ramping up the tensions. The U.S. sending B-1 bombers across South Korea as part of a training exercise, and that THAAD anti-missile system is now fully operational. Overnight, the North Korean state-run media with a dramatic response to those B-1 exercises, saying the reckless military provocation is pushing the Korean peninsula closer to the brink of nuclear war.
Nobody's safe. I mean, who's safe? The guy's got nuclear weapons. If he gets the long-range missiles, we're not safe either. So we have to do something about it, and we'll see what happens.
But despite that warning, the president has not ruled out a face-to-face meeting with the brutal North Korean dictator, going so far as to say it would be an honor. If it would be appropriate for me to meet with him, President Trump told Bloomberg, I would be honored to do it. ABC's Jonathan Karl pressing the White House on those comments.
This is somebody who has starved his own people, somebody that has threatened to destroy the United States. How could he be honored to meet with Kim Jong-un?
Well, the president understands the threat that North Korea poses, and he will do whatever is necessary under the right circumstances to protect our country from the threat that they pose. He is still the head of state, so it is sort of there's a diplomatic piece to this.
But the president's comments come amid possible new evidence that North Korea may be stepping up its submarine-based missile testing and has warned it will increase the speed of its nuclear tests to a maximum pace. The North Koreans still have not conducted that sixth nuclear test, but it could happen at any time. Meanwhile, President Trump will talk by phone with Russia's Vladimir Putin today, their third conversation, as we said, since President Trump took office. George?
Okay, Martha, thanks very much. The latest now on President Trump's push to repeal Obamacare. White House is optimistic, but Republicans in the House not yet ready to call a vote. The big stumbling block, coverage for pre-existing conditions and at what cost. Our congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is on Capitol Hill. And Mary, the president's confusing comments on this issue have complicated the vote count.
Yeah, George, good morning. House Republicans have never been closer to repealing and replacing Obamacare, but now the president is sending some mixed messages. He insists the current House GOP bill will protect people with pre-existing conditions. It's one of the few Obamacare provisions he's promised to keep. But the current House bill, it's not clear if it would actually keep that promise from the president. In order to gain the support of ultra-conservatives, Republicans made changes that could undermine protections for people with these conditions. The American Medical Association now saying the plan could effectively make coverage completely unaffordable to people with pre-existing conditions.
And Mary, the House Republicans, the Speaker says he's not going to call a vote until he's sure he has the votes, and they're right on the bubble now.
Yeah, the White House suggests they're almost there, but there still is no vote scheduled here. And House Republican leaders, unlike last time, say they will not call for a vote until they're sure they have the support to get this done. This is likely to be close, really close. By our latest count, at least 20 Republicans say they oppose the current plan. That means just 2 more no votes could sink the bill. And even if it does pass here in the House, it still faces a huge uphill battle over in the Senate. George, this fight is far from over.
Long road to go. Mary Bruce, thanks very much.
All right, George, now to the White House appearing to target both the former administration and big banks. Our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, joins us now. And Cecilia, let's start with the Trump administration taking steps to roll back Michelle Obama's Healthy Food Initiative for kids.
Yeah, Robin, this is coming from the new Agriculture Secretary, Sonny Perdue. He says that students essentially aren't eating the food. They don't like it. Cafeterias and schools have complained about it, so hence these changes. Let's take a look at exactly what these new rules would do. They would relax whole grain requirements. They allow 1% fat-flavored milk back into school cafeterias, and then they relax these sodium limits, meaning that the limits stay where they are. They don't go down over time as they would have under Michelle Obama's plan. These rules take effect in the next school year. Sonny Perdue says this isn't essentially about rolling back Michelle Obama's plan, Robin. They say this is about slowing that process down.
And Cecilia, another policy reversal that is on the horizon. President Trump saying he wants to break up the big banks.
He did. He told this to Bloomberg News. He says this is something that he is looking into right now. Now, this shouldn't come as a big surprise here. This is something that the president talked a lot about on the campaign trail. Nonetheless, the reaction from Wall Street yesterday was swift. Right after the president made these comments, stocks took a dive, but Robin, they did quickly bounce back after these comments.
They are back. All right, Cecilia, thank you.
Yeah, the president says he's looking at a gas tax as well, making a lot of news out there. We're going to turn now to those May Day protests that turned violent both here at home and around the world, with 25 arrested in Portland, police set on fire in Paris. Our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tracking all the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, George. Those mostly peaceful protests involving thousands across the country on May Day turned violent in the Northwest with what police called a riot in Portland, Oregon, and 9 officers injured in downtown Olympia, Washington. As many as 100 protesters clashed with police in those 2 cities, with smoke bombs, rocks, and bottles being thrown and fires set. A number of businesses were damaged as well. In all, at least 34 people were arrested, with some in Portland wearing black bandanas and ski masks described as anarchists. Those small pockets of violence marred peaceful demonstrations, with marchers protesting the Trump administration's immigration and labor policies, George.
Right, and the protests in Paris just days ahead of their presidential election. Pierre Thomas, thanks very much.
And George, now to South Carolina and a major update in the Walter Scott case. Former police officer Michael Slager is expected in court as soon as today to face charges in Scott's 2015 shooting death. ABC's Steve Osunsami is in Charleston for us this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Robin. We were expecting this week to be in front of federal court reporting on Slager's federal trial. But instead, we're learning from government officials familiar with the case that he has come to an agreement with prosecutors.
A major reversal is expected this morning from the white former police officer caught on camera shooting an unarmed black man in the back in North Charleston, South Carolina. For nearly 2 years now, 35-year-old Michael Slager has claimed that he was just doing his job and that he shot and killed 51-year-old Walter Scott because he says Scott was a threat to his safety, even at this significant distance away.
I fired until the threat was stopped, like I'm trying to do.
But according to an official briefed on the matter, Slager is now expected to plead guilty to charges in federal court. His dramatic state trial on murder and manslaughter charges ended in a hung jury. At the time, Slager's attorney argued that Scott should never have run from the traffic stop and that a violent struggle took place before the shooting that wasn't recorded.
just like, don't live that.
The victim's mother promised she would see justice one day.
It's not over. Y'all hear me? It's not over. So God's sake, it's over.
It appears that day has come. Slager was scheduled to be tried again in state court this summer, but a plea agreement here and serious jail time could change things.
We don't know to what charges he will plead. The state prosecutor still has to determine if she will move forward with her case. Robin.
Okay, we'll wait and see that. Steve, thank you.
All right, Robin, now to big changes that could be coming to the way you fly. Top airline executives are testifying about passengers' experiences on Capitol Hill this morning. After that series of recent incidents, that our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, has more on that. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hey, Michael, good morning. A lot of people are very interested to see what we're going to hear today. The CEO of United, along with executives from other airlines, set to testify on Capitol Hill, facing urgent questions from lawmakers about what can be done to reduce tensions between airlines and passengers. Just this weekend, a new video posted by TMZ, this Delta pilot was actually caught hitting a passenger. Delta says that the pilot has already returned to work after their investigation found that he was actually de-escalating a fight between passengers. And then, of course, there was that infamous incident on board that United flight, Dr. David Dow being dragged off that plane. It's now been settled for an undisclosed sum with the company, and Congress is now looking at several bills aimed at overhauling current policies, including banning airlines from forcibly removing passengers from overbooked flights, Michael.
And believe it or not, with all the incidents that have happened over the last few weeks, there was another one overnight.
Believe it or not, everybody's got a phone out on an airplane now, and they're capturing these incidents. This one on a flight overnight from Narita to LAX. This is an All Nippon Airways flight, a Japanese airline. So these are two passengers caught in a fight. One of them reportedly intoxicated, pulled off the flight. But you can see from these videos, tensions are just running so high, and you think about all the people, all the passengers, all the people working at the airlines on board these flights, tensions are running high.
Oh, we could see that. All right, thank you, Rebecca.
Okay, thank you,
George.
guys. We're going to move on now to that deadly stabbing at the University of Texas. One student killed, 3 injured. Austin police have arrested the attacker, and they're now trying to determine a motive. ABC's Kana Whitworth on the scene in Austin with the latest. Good morning, Kana.
George, good morning. As of now, police do not have a motive. They say the attacks were seemingly random, and they happened right here behind me. When you look, that building is the school gymnasium, and a lot of people were in line at that food truck right there that is currently behind crime scene tape. Now, police say the suspect was eerily calm as he walked around campus stabbing fellow students.
3 patients that have been stabbed. 1 in the neck. UTPD is pursuing the suspect at this time.
The first call for help coming in at 1:49 in the afternoon. Officers arriving on scene just 2 minutes later.
Everyone was yelling, he's here, and just running away.
University of Texas police quickly locating the suspect. 21-year-old Kendricks White, a student who was charged with driving while intoxicated just last month.
When you see your other hand, put it straight out in front of you. Do not move or you will be tased.
University police say White was calmly walking around the busy campus with a large hunting knife, stabbing 4 people within a block, seemingly at random.
If I had been facing the other way, had my back to that guy, it could have been me that he targeted.
Police say all of the victims are male students in their early 20s. 1 person killed. 3 others rushed to the hospital. School officials attempting to calm student fears.
We're going to actively investigate this and do everything we can to continue to work on making campus safety a top priority.
But the university being criticized this morning. Students saying nearly 30 minutes had passed before they were alerted of a threat on campus.
I wanted more information. I wanted to know if I was in danger. So I was so scared.
Now, the university president is saying overnight that he understands the students' frustration and he is committed to faster notifications in the future. Also, 2 students were released from the hospital late last night, and classes will resume on campus here today.
George.
Yeah, a long 30 minutes in Austin. Amy, here with today's other top stories. You had a confrontation in New Orleans overnight.
That's right. There were some very tense moments in New Orleans as police were apparently preparing to remove a monument to Jefferson Davis, one of 3 Confederate symbols the city is taking down. A confrontation broke out between supporters and opponents, some throwing glass, burning flags. 3 were detained. Police say the monument will stay in place until a later date. And police say the man who went on a shooting rampage at a San Diego pool party was despondent over a breakup with his girlfriend. New video shows the chaotic final moments as police surrounded him and killed him. They say he launched his attack from a lounge chair while speaking to his ex-girlfriend on the phone. 1 victim died, 6 others were injured. And for the second time in as many weeks, we have video of a child falling from a moving bus. Before we show it to you, we want to tell you he is okay. The 8-year-old in South Carolina backed up and fell right through the emergency door of this bus. His mom says his backpack wrapped around the handle and opened it accidentally. And last week, you remember, we showed you a girl who survived this fall from the back of a bus in Arkansas. She was rescued by a firefighter and is okay as well. And finally, will it be the next big beverage phenomenon? A candy shop in Ohio has unveiled pickle juice soda. The store calls it a really big deal, and some are relishing the idea, claiming it'll mix well with whiskey. What do you guys think? I love a pickleback shot. You know what that is, right?
Pickleback.
Oh,
No,
all right.
never had it.
What is a shot of whiskey and a shot of pickle juice.
Okay.
You should try it.
And Amy is now the spokesperson for that pickle juice soda.
Always thinking. Thank you, Amy. We got a happy update for you. The dramatic rescue in Texas that we showed you. Well, Good Samaritans racing against time to save 2 children from a flooded car. Now their parents are saying thank you. Jesse Palmer is here with that great story. Good morning, Jesse.
Robin, these parents have a lot to be thankful for this morning after that close call with those devastating storms.
Oh my God, it's a baby!
This is the heart-stopping moment a nightmare nearly became a reality for 2 Texas parents.
We got a baby! Call 911!
Trapped inside their overturned truck, floodwaters rapidly rushing in.
I'm banging on the roof, just yelling, screaming, please get my kids out of the back of this truck.
Give me the baby! Give me the baby!
Good Samaritans rushing to help.
We heard voices talking to us, and they told us that they were doing everything they could.
Racing against time to save the family.
How everybody came together to get the doors open and to get the children out. It's mind-boggling that people were able to do that for us.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I was there.
And this is the moment Philip and Emily Ochiltree met 2 of those helpers.
Thank you.
Thomas Mitchell recorded that video, now seen over 16 million times, before jumping in to give the children CPR.
I don't feel like a hero now. I just felt like I was able to help some people out.
Baby Marshall released from the hospital.
You're so brave, Addie.
But big sister Addie is still recovering at Children's Medical Center Dallas.
She's off of the breathing machine. She's still on assist, but she's laughing and she's high-fiving and playing with
Feeding her baby.
This morning, the Ochiltree family is grateful.
We had our guardian angels with us.
And those strangers turned heroes say they were just in the right place at the right time.
Words can't explain. It's just blessed to be a blessing to someone else.
So happy that both Addie and Marshall are okay. The family tells us they can't wait for those Good Samaritans to meet Addie when she is out of the hospital.
That's great news.
Unbelievable. And you notice in that video, not just 1 or 2 people, an entire team working together to make the rescue incredible.
Excellent.
All right, thank you, Jesse. And you want to go to Ginger with flooding in the Midwest, and Ginger's more rain coming.
Unfortunate news here, and this is what I wanted to show you. I-44 closed in part around St. Louis in Missouri. You can see how difficult it is navigating the floodwaters, and those floodwaters are still rising from that initial storm. You see the other video of neighborhoods underwater. You had so much settling in there. 24 rivers in the Midwest are now at major flood stage and still rising. Flash flood watch now for parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri because more rain's coming. That's right, you'll get another bullseye of up to 3 inches right around St. Louis by the weekend. Let's get to the Tuesday trivia now, brought to you by Dairy Queen.
So we're saving the galaxy again? Awesome!
See that? How the Guardians of the Galaxy come together to be awesome? Guys, that's teamwork. Like cookies and brownies coming together to form Brookies and this Guardians Awesome Mix Blizzard. Okay, Jen, that's enough. Star-Lord's clean.
What?
Jen, we talked about this.
The new DQ Guardians Awesome Mix Blizzard, an awesome mix of Brookie Pieces, caramel, and choco chunks.
See Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in theaters May 5th.
And a very good morning, meteorologist Brian Vandegraff. After some morning scattered clouds, we're going to get into some sunshine today. It'll be windy, mid-70s for highs, but gorgeous sunshine, and temperatures still above average, which is about 71 for this time of year. Tonight, Nationals take the field at 7:05. We have the Diamondbacks in town. Temperatures will be in the 60s for first pitch, falling into the 50s late. Overnight, cooler and refreshing, 50 to 57. Tomorrow, still a nice day, upper 60s. Some showers move in late on Thursday.
Did you see this? Jimmy Kimmel's emotional revelation about his newborn baby boy, Billy, the health crisis, and how a nurse knew something was wrong.